prices a little under $100,000 over Arkansas aluminum stock. Say they're worth about 40,000 sterling in round figures. To you, 10,000 pounds. Cheaper the price.
I'm not complaining.
Would this help? I assure you it would not. These bonds are as good as the real thing. For all practical purposes, they are real. Until your client tries to register the transfer, finds a duplicate.
He's in no hurry until he's bought up all he wants. And I shan't be around by then. Are my papers ready?
Yes. Passport, personal papers, all ready for you.
I might as well take them now.
First, there is a little matter of 10,000 pounds.
But you've had your deposit. You get the balance when we complete. That was agreed.
Exactly. That is when you get your documents. As a matter of interest, when will that be?
We meet at the solicitor's this afternoon. I swear an affidavit, hand over the bonds, and collect my check.
All sounds too easy.
It may sound easy. It's taken 2 months of hard graft to set it up.
So, I can expect to see you again in a couple of days, huh?
You must be joking. Tomorrow, about midday, I got a plane to catch.
Yes, I suppose you would have. If all goes well with your American client.
Not to worry, Kessel.
Me? I never worry. Good luck, Hughes.
Oh, not Hughes. At the moment, my name's Giles Pratt Lovell. See you tomorrow.
At Lovell. Very impressive.
I don't know, sir. He's calling himself Giles Pratt Lovell. But it's not the con man I'm interested in. It's the man who produced these American bonds. No, well, they haven't been vetted yet, but they look pretty perfect to me. Look, it's got to be our forger again. I mean, there can't be two of them in the district. Yes, but at least it's a concrete lead, more than we've had in years. Yes, well, I am, sir. I'm dropping everything to follow it up. Yes, he's with me now. Yeah. Mr. Alvin Lee, sent over by Divisional CID. Yes, sir. I'm sorry to keep you, Mr. Lee. Now, tell me about this Giles Pratt Lovell.
I know what you're thinking, Inspector. I've been taken for a ride, but thank you. But he was introduced by a mutual acquaintance, and I've visited with him many times in the past 2 months, at his apartment and at his office, Pratt Lovell in Crichton.
Yes, it's as well to set up a solid background for this sort of money. Tell me, Mr. Lee, how did you come to be buying up stock in this unorthodox way?
It's on behalf of a client in the States. For reasons which are not relevant, he wishes to acquire an additional holding in Arkansas Aluminum. And also for his own reasons,
He didn't want it to be known, so he sent you over to collect what you could from European stockholders.
Well, yes, but that doesn't...
Ah, sir, the bonds. Mr. Alvin Lee, Superintendent Pratt.
Morning, Mr. Lee.
Morning.
How did you get onto it, sir, that these were fakes?
Oh, pure chance. When I was listing the stock, I happened to notice that the serial numbers of these bonds were identical with the block I'd already acquired and
I
registered.
think you're right, you know. It is our man again.
It's got to be, sir.
You know Pratt Lovell?
Well, possibly, but the superintendent is talking about the man who forged these. And unfortunately, all we know about him is that he exists. Now, sir, if you just give us a description of your Mr. Giles Pratt Lovell.
I think he's out of the country by now. I presume you paid him in cash?
Cash? Oh, no. If he'd asked
What,
for
you
cash,
paid him by check?
Sure.
On an English bank?
National Central. When I arrived, I deposited funds.
What branch?
Why, right here in 4th Street.
You stopped that check, sir?
Not yet. I came straight round here, but there's no hurry for that. It'll take 2 or 3 days to clear.
Not if they walk it.
What?
Special clearance.
Better do it right away, sir. Come over to my office.
Gamble.
You'll find it easier to phone them now.
Yes, I looked at the file last night. Yeah, look, I haven't got any time now, yes. Okay, yeah, well, I'll call you back. Well, where have they gone?
To use the phone in his office.
And what the hell's this lot?
It's what you asked for. Forged documents, untraced. Everything on our man over the last 5 years, if it is all the same man.
It must be, and there'll be another file to add to these if we don't get a move on.
Hello, is that the manager? Good morning, Mr. Judd. This is Alvin Lee. I'm fine, thank you. At least, I'm not. I have a problem, Mr. Judd. Yesterday I wrote a check, number, thank you, 043452 payable to a Mr. Giles Pratt Lovell. The sum was £40,050. I'll confirm in writing, of course, but I want an immediate stop placed on this, and I... What? Oh, hell. Can you hold on a minute, please? Too late. He's already paid it.
To what branch of what bank?
Evans, bullion robber, 67, Dublin. Phony British passport. Identity papers, phony.
British passport and documents.
Passport.
Bearer bonds and share certificates.
Austrian passport.
British papers.
Well, these are only the ones we know about. The fools that got caught.
You'd think with this lot that someone would have talked somewhere along the line.
Well, that could be if we picked up the right man, but we can't count on that. Look, I think we ought to go through these again.
Not again.
Yes, again and again.
But the time we've wasted
Look,
is going...
Hicks, this is a new one. American stock. Does it fit the pattern? Does it tie in with some lead we've overlooked? Is it... Campbell?
Well, the check's been walked. But the con man hasn't drawn the cash from his own bank yet. It's the High Street branch of...
Yes, sir, I know it. Yes. Just a minute, sir. Tell Roberts to meet me at my car, will you? At the double? No, sir. No, I don't think I'll pick him up there. I mean, the chances are he hasn't made the payoff yet. Well, what does it matter if I lose him as long as he leads us to our man? Yeah. What? I'll call in, sir.
Wouldn't it make life easier, sir, to use a squad car?
Too easy to spot. There wasn't time and I prefer my own.
Get a good petrol allowance, do you think?
What the hell are you playing at?
Showing initiative, sir. This side we're better placed for a straight getaway, or for a U-turn, if he turns up.
He's in there now.
Oh. Do we know him?
No, he's a metropolitan type, West End.
Oh, yes, that figures. Collecting the loot, is he?
Yeah. He's put some of it in a separate envelope. There he is now. Don't seem so damned interested.
Hello, Martin.
Not working today? Or is the library closed again?
No, not this time. I'm just taking an early lunch break. I thought I'd collect those posters if they're ready.
Oh, dear, I confess it, they're not. I've got a proof copy here, but we have to make some corrections.
Oh, that's fine. No, it's all right. You did say tomorrow. But I want to get the volunteers onto displaying them as soon as possible. This has got to be a good meeting.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Good morning, sir. You come for your visiting cards?
Yes. if they're ready.
Oh, indeed they are.
Well, I'll call in tomorrow on my way home.
They'll be waiting for you. Come this way, mister.
Isn't that your wife?
My ex-wife.
Oh, that's awkward.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, really.
Look, back up close just in case, then come in.
£10,000 in tens. Well, I was going to count it.
Why should I? Now, your personal papers. Check them. Passport. Marriage lines. UK driving license. International driving permit. AA card. Oh, yes, and here is Diners Club card. Now, don't try to use that one. They'll catch up with you one day.
What'd it take me for?
You'll be surprised how stupid some of my customers are. I'm just coming. Now, these are letters, receipts, bills, photographs. You get rid of any other papers you have on you.
I know.
Who is it?
Police!
Bloody fool. You've come for your visiting cards. Use your own name.
Open this door!
It isn't locked. It only sticks. What on earth are you doing? Your colleague?
Here, Captain.
Good. Okay, Caxton, the show is over. That was a nasty blow. Come inside till you feel better.
Have you got a phone in here?
Of course, help yourself.
Are you Martin Kessel?
Yes, I am. Who are you?
Detective Inspector Gamble.
Campbell? Good heavens, I know your ex-wife. You just missed her. Helen and I are both on the area committee of CAVPO.
The what?
Terrible, these abbreviations, aren't they? CAVPO, that's Council for Aid to Victims of Political Oppression.
Oh, it is Inspector Gamble here. Put me through to my office, will you? Who is that man who is here?
Don't you know? I thought you'd be going to arrest him.
I was. What's his name?
Hughes, Mr. Peter Hughes.
Oh, hello, Vicky. Get this down and get it circulated fast, will you? Full distribution, especially airports. Description of wanted man known as Giles Pratt Lovell or Peter Hughes or any other... never mind how he got away. Yes, look, Roberts has gone after him, and he should catch him. Now, have you got that description? Good.
Marvelous.
What is?
Police thoroughness. It's an object lesson. You won't get far, that Mr. Hughes, whatever his name is. He'll be for it, whatever it was he did.
You know what he did.
Me? Inspector, I assure you, to me, he's just a casual customer.
All right, Kessel, if you want to play it by the book, why was he here?
To collect his visiting card.
What visiting cards?
Well, excuse him a minute, they're still here. I didn't have time to give them to him before you arrived. They're just ordinary visiting cards. He wanted them for his business.
What business?
I don't know. He said he was some kind of agent.
Peter Hughes, agent. Agent for fake American bonds?
Is that what he did?
Yes. That's what he did yesterday afternoon.
They couldn't have been very good fakes, because for you to get on to them so quick.
On the contrary, they were perfect. But the forger was unlucky. Do you want to know why?
Not particularly. Of course, you want to tell me.
Some of the serial numbers on the bonds were the same as those already owned by the purchaser.
Oh, I see. Oh, that was very bad luck.
Yeah, it depends which way you look at it. From where I stand, it was the first break we've had in years. It led me here.
I suppose I ought to be angry, indignant, huh? The outraged citizen. Helen would be. Oh, this is too ludicrous. Really, if this is police logic, no wonder so many unsolved crimes.
Are you claiming that I found Giles Pratt Lovell here by coincidence?
Who? Oh, Pratt Lovell, yes. I heard you say on the telephone it was one of his aliases. No, seriously, Inspector. If I really was a master forger, do you honestly believe I'd set up in business as a small printer?
It would be convenient.
Oh, but too obvious.
Sometimes the obvious is the best cover. I think I'll take a look around.
It would be more polite to ask, but please go ahead. We might find old Caxton pegging out wet fivers on a clothesline. Oh, no, I missed him. He's just gone out to lunch. Well, come this way, Inspector. If there's anything you don't understand, you only have to ask.
Take you, Sergeant Hicks. Ah, Roberts, did you get him?
And finally, this is the cellar.
You lost him because you got caught for speeding in the inspector's car. I see. No, as far as I know, he's all right. There's no need. I've already circulated his description. In fact, I've rung every airport and private airfield within 100 miles personally.
That's a very large central heating boiler you have down there.
Oh, I was born and brought up in the south of France. I can't work if the temperature drops below 70, huh? Well, now, I have to make a living, Inspector. Hope you're satisfied.
With what I've seen.
No, that's all there is.
Does that lead to the flat up above? Is that where you live?
Ah, now that is a sore point. I wish I did. I bought this place, 10 years ago, with sitting tenants upstairs. 70 they were then, still going strong, not even paying an economic rent. Oh, please don't mention this to Helen. She doesn't approve of my role as landlord.
Where do you live?
I have a small apartment in Sollington Park. Would you like to see it?
Yes.
Well, you must come one evening. Bring Helen with you. I think you're still on friendly terms, yes?
I'll see it now.
Oh, no, Inspector. Now, I think you must agree that I have been as cooperative as any public-spirited citizen could possibly be. But I'm a busy man, too. Now, don't worry. You'll get your forger as soon as you find this man Hughes, or whatever his name is. All the police in the country looking for him. He can't get far.
Will passengers for BEA charter flight number 989 to Malaga, please go to gate 3 for immediate embarkation. Will passengers for BEA charter flight number 989 to Malaga, please go to gate 3 for immediate embarkation.
Is that him?
That's him, Hughes, Peter, alias Finch Hatton, Stubbs Norton, John Smith, etc., etc. You know, I've been desk-bound too long.
What else could you have done?
Well, I could have kept my eyes open. I walked right into it. The old ankle tap, karate chop.
Don't expect that sort of thing from a con man.
I didn't, but I should. Look, this Peter Hughes, before he grew up and became subtle, did 2 years for GBH.
Yes, I know. I remember reading about it. Press called him the Mayfair Cosh Boy.
The Mayfair Cosh one. Wonder why the hell they haven't picked him up yet.
Maybe he's not leaving, gone to ground somewhere.
Well, I don't believe that. Come in.
Reporting in, sir. Car's all right, sir.
What's this?
Receipt for petrol. I filled her up, sir. Sorry I lost him, sir.
That's all right, it wasn't your fault.
I did suggest using a police car, sir, if you remember.
I remember. Anything else?
Head all right, sir?
Haven't you got any work to do?
Yes, sir.
That was a bit hard.
He just wanted to see the egg on my face. Now look, amongst those files, there's a man picked up with a faked Austrian passport. Let me see it, will you? And open a new one. The Martin Kessel file.
You sure he's our man?
But what's the alternative, sir? Coincidence?
Well, he had an answer for everything. The locked door that sticks, the cards in Hugh's real name.
Yes, of course he had an answer.
What do you mean, of course?
Well, he's not an amateur. He's been getting away with it for years, all his life, for all I know.
What do you know about his life?
Just that he was born in France. We're on to CRO and Immigration and Special Branch now, sir.
Why SP?
Because he works for leftist organisations and he's on the committee for CAFPO.
What's that?
Aid to political refugees.
Which kind?
Oh, all kinds, left and right. It seems to be quite a worthy, liberal, humanitarian setup, sir. But look, don't tell me this is another coincidence.
What's this?
Forged Austrian papers. A man was taken ill at an airport while waiting for a flight to New York.
How did they get onto it?
Via the hospital. He was pretty bad for it. It seems he was suffering from some kind of acute food poisoning. So they tried to get in touch with his next of kin, and they contacted the Austrian embassy.
And who was he really?
A Hungarian known as János Kosser. He was a refugee. He came into this country, and he was sponsored by the local branch of CAFPO until he disappeared.
Why disappear?
Well, if he was a defecting Hungarian communist and wanted to get to the States.
It's true, they are tough on who they let in from Eastern Europe. Much simpler as an Austrian.
Yes, but does it matter to us, sir? I mean, it's another direct lead to Kessel. Unless, of course, you're asking me to swallow two coincidences.
No, you've still got nothing to go on.
Until they pick up Hughes.
Well, nobody else talked, why should he?
Ah, but if he's facing a charge for attempted murder...
What murder?
Well, a karate chop can kill, sir.
You haven't got to help him making that stick, you know that?
But will he?
Right. Where? How long? Yes, check 'em all. For what it's worth. You can forget Hughes.
What?
They found his car in the car park at Luton Airport.
Oh, blast.
Well, he led you to Kessel, that's what you wanted, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Now I want a search warrant.
What for?
Well, he's got to have somewhere to work, see his customers, keep his stores, passport blanks, watermark paper.
The traditional forger's den, in fact. You've already been over his place, haven't you?
His flat, sir.
You know you can't get a warrant under the Forgeries Act. Where is it?
Sorry to disturb you, sir, but I thought you might like to know Martin Kessel is here.
All right, show him in.
Would I come in, sir?
Thank you, my dear. Good afternoon, Inspector. And this is...
The superintendent.
Much pleasure, Superintendent. Well, how's the head, eh? No ill effect, I hope.
Do you?
I hope you get your man, Hughes, or whatever his name is.
His real name is Hughes. It's interesting that you should know that.
Oh, why not? His business with me was innocent enough.
Was it?
Oh, why don't you ask him?
I intend to.
Oh, you've got him then.
Is that what you came to find out, Mr. Kessel?
Well, naturally I am curious, because after all, if you're going to prosecute for assault, I shall be a witness, won't I? No, what I really came for is to bring you this. He dropped it.
How do you know Hughes dropped it?
Well, no one else has been in there since. Unless it's yours, Inspector.
No, it's Hughes.
I suppose there's no point in asking for a receipt.
I think you'd better have one, in case it's unclaimed, or there's any question of a reward. One thick manila envelope, 16 by 12, contents unknown.
Well, I could guess from the feel of it, but I don't know. Thank you, Superintendent. Oh, by the way, you remember you said you would like to see my apartment?
Yes, I do.
Well, why don't you come along this evening for a drink, eh? By about 7? Helen will be there, if you can get a sitter. Here's the address, 2nd floor. About 7 o'clock. Good, well, I won't disturb you any longer. Goodbye, and thank you so much, Superintendent. Don't bother, I'll let myself out.
means there'll be nothing to see at his flat.
Right.
But you're still going?
Yes. Yes, I want to talk to Helen. I think when I've finished with Kessel, I'll take her out to dinner. You know, if she's such a friend of Kessel's, it's just possible that she's got herself involved.
I gather she is involved with political refugees.
Oh, yes, as one of her usual liberal crusades. No, I meant a stage further. I mean, she's just foolish enough to be in with Kessel on this fake documentation bit.
Just humane enough, she'd say, but I don't believe it, though.
No, probably not. Still, I can't risk it for her sake and Lucy's. You know, if she even knows about it, she's an accessory.
What if she doesn't know, and you tip her off and she tells Kessel?
Ah, that could make him jumpy.
Or careful.
But he couldn't be more careful than he is already. Do you think I'd be wrong to warn her?
Couldn't do anything else.
No. Thanks, Vicky.
What for?
The right answer.
Enjoy your dinner.
Oh, 2 ravioli, 2 Saltimbocca, and a flask of Chianti, right?
Yes.
Thanks.
It's what you always used to order when we came here. Well, it's very sweet of you, John, but you didn't have to buy me dinner.
Oh, we have to eat, and you've got your sitter. How is Lucy?
Oh, she's fine. Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Give her my love, will you?
Yes, I will. Well, if we're going to enjoy our dinner, there's something I'd just like to clear up first.
Oh? What's that?
You've seen Martin's flat. You've seen his printing works. Now, will you stop hounding him?
Is that what I'm doing?
Obviously.
He told you that?
You tell me what happened this morning. Is your head all right?
Sure, I'm not potty, if that's what you mean.
No, just prejudiced, as usual.
Helen, let's not start that again.
But it's true, isn't it? If your con man had happened to order cards from a firm that did printing for, say, the police or the Tory party, you wouldn't have jumped to the conclusion that the printer was a crook, too. It's simply because you've got an instinctive prejudice against anyone who doesn't actually kowtow to the establishment.
It's all right, just leave it, thanks. Well, look, Helen, I'm not going to go all over this again. Either you accept it or you don't, but it is a fact. As far as my work is concerned, I am completely non-political.
I say that, but you can't be. No policeman.
This is a straightforward investigation, and politics just don't enter into it. Well, at least...
At least what?
Well, not as such.
Well, as what, then?
Well, only incidentally.
Exactly.
Helen, do you know a Hungarian called János Kosser?
Yes, why?
Do you know what happened to him?
No. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What are you hounding him for?
I'm not.
You're a special branch now, are you? And why János, anyway? He was a defector from the East. He was anti-Soviet.
No, I don't care whether he's right, left, or centre. I'm not interested in him.
And what did you mention him for?
Because he was picked up on the way to the States with faked Austrian papers.
I don't believe you.
Good. I only mentioned it as a warning, but if you don't know anything about it, you can't possibly be involved, can you? Forget it.
Oh, it's too ridiculous, this ex-husband of yours who lives in a world of fantasy.
That's what I tried to tell him.
I can understand Kosa wanting papers to get out of Hungary, but he was already here legally. Why should he pose as an Austrian?
Well, I suppose if he wanted to go to America, it might make it a bit easier.
Yeah, possibly. But he never said anything to me about going to America. And even if he had, hey, Helen, well, tell me you believe this absurd concoction.
No, of course not, but John does.
Or could it be that he's desperate for a prosecution, eh? And, well, I hate to say this about your ex, but could it be that he's trying to frame me?
No. At least, I don't think so. He wouldn't have done a thing like that in the old days.
Well, it's a long time ago. People can change. So, why did he tell you, eh? Did he expect you to come and warn me? Or perhaps tell me, make me do something foolish that could cause suspicion?
I honestly don't know. He said it was to warn me in case I was involved.
You? Well, he must be a little bit gaga. Or was it a blow on the head? Don't worry, dear. Whatever's going through his mind, he can't prove anything, because there's nothing to prove.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Martin. Lord, I'm going to be late again. I'll see you at the meeting.
Helen! Fancy meeting you here.
Oh, I was collecting these. What on earth were you doing up there?
Chatting up the sitting tenants.
John, you're not trying to involve them now, are you? At least 80.
That is no guarantee of respectability.
You are mad.
No, I just wanted to ask them a question, save myself a lot of time.
Well, what question?
I don't think I ought to tell you that.
I'm sure you aren't a bit concussed.
Not now. Maybe I was yesterday, otherwise it wouldn't have taken me so long to think of it.
What?
I think I told you enough last night, didn't I? Do you want to know? I told you not to ring me here.
Except in emergency.
What's happened?
Police. I thought I'd managed to choke them off, but there's one very persistent inspector.
He's even got as far as connecting me with a late lamented Kessel.
Local special branch, I presume.
No, Ford Squad. What the devil's it got to do with them?
Well, it's an unfortunate mistake.
They were after one of my private clients and followed him here.
I knew this would happen one day. Why can't you stick to your political activities?
Because I can't live on what I make from shipping the comrades, let alone putting by for my retirement.
To hell with your retirement.
Which may come sooner than we expect, if you do not do something about this inspector.
What do you expect me to do?
Well, now, I know the British police are said to be incorruptible, but there must be points of, what shall I say, infiltration, influence, contact. His name is Gamble.
Good morning.
Only just.
Well, I called Roberts. Didn't you get my message?
Yes, but it didn't mean anything. It said you were pursuing architectural research.
I was, the cellar. It was very small, hardly big enough to hold the central heating boiler, and the end wall was different from the other three.
Bricked up?
Yes, when Kessel first bought the place, there was a cellar that ran the whole length of the premises, with an entrance from what is now Kessel's office.
You guess or you know?
No, I talked to the previous owner via the tenants upstairs, he told me. Is this the Martin Kessel dossier?
Yes, as much as I've got so far. Oh, they picked up Hughes.
What?
In Malaga.
Good.
I've been on the phone to them. I'm just writing it up now. He flew there with a girl and a child on a family passport.
Then I take my hat off to the Spaniard who spotted them.
Oh, no one did at the airport. But he'd booked a hired car, and as he was driving out of town, he had an accident. He'd been drinking heavily on the plane, apparently. The so-called wife and child became hysterical and talked out of turn. Incidentally, he was carrying 30,000 odd in cash.
Lucky Mr. Lee. Wait a minute. Only 30,000?
What do you mean, only?
Well, Hughes collected 40,000. And when Kessel played the honest citizen and brought that envelope back, there was only 2,000 in it. Overconfident, trying to be greedy as well as clever.
Can't prove it.
Well, on his own story, he found that envelope, therefore stealing by finding £8,000. All we need now is a warrant under the Theft Act, tear his place apart, find that cellar, get Hughes back here to turn Queen's evidence, and bang, we've got Comrade Kessel in the bag. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Have you heard about Hughes?
Yes.
We'll get him back.
Yes.
Not that there's any hurry now. We know about Kessel. We know where he operates. and so on.
Forget Kessel.
What?
He won't have time.
Well, what do you mean, time? I mean, all we need is a warrant and a couple of hours.
Not even a couple of hours.
Well, you can't be serious.
This is a full-time job till it's finished from the Board of Trade. Camelot Insurance. Query prosecution under the Companies Act.
But it can wait.
No.
Well, it's not important.
It is to the fools who've lost their money.
All right, but it isn't urgent. I mean, we've been after this man Kessel now for 5 years without even knowing his name. Now, all we've got to do is collect the evidence and pull him in.
We're not pulling anyone in, we're dropping the case.
For God's sake, why?
There are reasons.
What reasons? Give me one.
I can't.
Why not?
You're not paid to ask questions.
That's exactly what I am paid for.
Don't try to be smart, Inspector, you know what I mean.
And that's exactly what I don't know. Look, I know it can't be your idea to let Kessel off the hook, then whose is it?
I'm not going
the
to argue
constable?
with you.
The chief constable? Then if so, why? I mean, in heaven's name, why?
Forget Kessel, I don't want to hear his name again. Is this the file?
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, Gamble, I know how you feel, but you'll just have to accept it. As far as we're concerned, the Martin Kessel file is closed.
Took it badly, hmm?
Yes, sir.
Well, knowing Gamble, I suppose it was inevitable.
It was his case, sir.
Yes. Pity it had to be him. I can think of several officers who'll be only too glad to be relieved of a show.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. If I known it was going to turn out like this, I wouldn't have given it to him.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Pride, I'm not criticizing you. Don't be so damn touchy.
Sorry, sir.
He's accepted it, eh?
What else could he do?
Yeah, quite.
Suppose you couldn't tell me the reason.
No, if I could, I'd have made it official. As it is, the less talk, the better, and the sooner it's forgotten, the better.
Yes.
Right, Pride.
He didn't like doing it. Just acting under orders.
Excuse me, sir, but I've had an idea about this man Kessel. I was thinking if we went down to
Forget
his
it.
place... But, sir, I just thought if we went down there again and asked him if...
Forget it. Go away and study your decimal conversion tables.
Very good, sir.
Will you type a report for me, Hicks?
Yes, of course. You too.
To the Chief Constable, via Detective Superintendent Proud. Handing in my resignation.
You can't do that. What good will it do?
Because, as a private citizen, I will feel it my duty to explain to the press exactly why I am resigning. And you can put that in paragraph 2 of the report.
You in? Oh, coming, Gamble. I've had your report.
I know, sir.
And I haven't forwarded it yet.
You had it 4 hours ago, sir. You can't sit on it.
Don't you tell me what I can do.
No, sir.
I've been on to the Chief Constable. He's just been back to me. You're to go to London and report to a Mr. Gilby.
Who's that?
I don't know.
Well, what's it about?
He'll explain. There's the address. We'll be expecting you about 7 o'clock.
Very good accounts at short notice.
I had orders from my Chief Constable. You know that.
Yes, Colonel Gudgeon said he'd try and get you here this evening. It is rather urgent. I'd better start by explaining who I am.
You're Mr. Gilby of MI5, MI6, some other number.
Now, the Colonel told you.
No, but I'm assuming you're the man who's trying to protect Kessel.
Yes, your chief said you were one of his brightest boys.
Well, I don't think I was dragged up here to listen to flattery.
No. You understand, of course, that this meeting and anything I may tell you are secret.
Then perhaps you better not tell me anything.
Oh, I'm backing the Colonel's judgment that you're not only a bit of an individualist and a bit of a rebel, but 100% trustworthy. This all right for you?
Well, yes, fine, thanks.
Good. Now, Kessel. I didn't like it, but I had to approach your chief and ask him to call off the chase. Because whatever Kessel may have been up to on the side, he's vital to Western security.
Vital?
In my opinion.
And the Chief Constable took that on the old boy network.
Colonel Gudgeon and I have mutual friends. We served in the same regiment. And, of course, he knows that my office reports direct to the Secretary of State.
Then why didn't you make it an official request?
Security. Well, once you get bits of paper passing to and fro, even in a police headquarters, there's always danger of a leak. And if Kessel's cover's blown, he's no use to me.
To you?
But to the country.
To which country? To this country, the United States? And how is he useful?
I'm sorry. Not even to you can I go into details. I just want you to understand.
Then I'll tell you. Martin Kessel, French communist. Came to this country in 1940 and worked with the resistance, presumably forging passports for agents. Then after the war, he stayed here, set himself up as a printer, became naturalized, and subsequently announced that he was disillusioned with Soviet communism and left the party.
Oh, that's on record.
Agreed, but the next part isn't. And when he made a public showing of announcing that he wasn't going to be a communist anymore, he in fact went underground, retaining party membership and starting his business of supplying papers for minor Eastern agents.
Anything else?
Yes, these agents came into this country pretending to be genuine refugees, and they were kitted out with a new identity and sent on to America, rather like the unlucky Cossa. But at the same time, Kessel turned double agent, and he was feeding you information about these agents, which you were passing on to the FBI.
Very ingenious.
Yes. I haven't finished yet. Neither the comrades nor you could pay him enough. I imagine even your department is short of funds in peacetime. And Kessel wasn't in it for the cause now, only for what he could get out of it. And there's nothing so cynical as a disillusioned Marxist. So he turned his considerable talents towards crime. Highly lucrative crime. And that's where I stumbled in.
Yeah. Well, for a man who's trained to work from facts, you're a great guesser.
The last part is fact. And if the first part isn't true, or something very near it, then why are you trying to protect him? Unless, of course, he's blackmailing you, or you're a double yourself.
Is that what you were going to tell the press when you resigned?
No, just my reasons that someone in higher authority was covering up for a criminal. No, there won't be need to say any more. I mean, they'll ferret out the rest.
Supposing that were true, haven't you answered yourself? Isn't it 100 times more important with the world and the state it's in today to keep that man working rather than put him away for a few minor peccadillos?
Not minor. One of his most profitable lines is getting major criminals out of this country and permanently lost. Bank robbers, bullion robbers, gangsters, murderers, drug pushers.
Even so.
Not even so. Look, in your opinion, he's vital to Western security because you're able to tip off the FBI who can keep tabs on a few minor agents.
Now, look here.
Now, don't tell me that the men in the Kessel pipeline are anything but small fry. I mean, your big fellas, your Gordon Longsdales, they're kitted up at source.
Keeping tabs, as you call it, on small fry leads to the big men.
Might lead, if you're lucky. Look, I quite see your point, Mr. Gilby. Catching spies is your life, catching villains is mine. But in this country, here and now, at the present moment, crime is the #1 problem. And in my opinion, it is more vital to us to put men like Kessel away than it is to feed a few names to the FBI. I mean, let's face it, they can find other sources, can't they? Thanks for the drink.
Wait a minute.
What's the point? We could go on talking all night. We'd never agree. Good luck, Mr. Gilby. I hope you find another Kessel who isn't quite so greedy.
Get me Colonel Gudgeon.
Come in. Oh, good morning, Gamble.
Is the Martin Kessel file still closed, sir?
Yes.
Have you forwarded my resignation?
Not yet.
Then I must insist that you
Now,
do.
Gamble, I know how you feel. Feel the same myself.
The difference is I'm going to do something about it.
Now, look. You're in a service, you obey orders. You have your principles, but sometimes you have to ignore them. You know that. And you know that one man can't be more important than your whole career.
Look, sir, it's not him. It's Gilby and the old boy network and the gullible Gudgeon, the whole nasty setup. Look, if this is the way your department's going to be run, sir, you're welcome to it.
Gamble, it's not for you or me to decide national priorities.
Nor is it for Gilby or the Chief Constable. I mean, does the Secretary of State know? Well, he will when the papers start probing.
They won't.
All they need is a hint. Don't worry, I won't be saying anything I shouldn't.
Why don't you knock off for a bit and give yourself time to calm down? Report's sick.
I'm not the one who's sick.
Well, take some leave, then. Think it over quietly.
I've done enough thinking, sir. I formally request that you forward my resignation.
Oh, no, thank you. Not in the middle of the day. I drop off in the afternoon.
And that is exactly what I intend to do.
Is that what we pay our rates for?
I'm on leave.
That's a bit sudden, isn't it?
Yes. I think I'll go away for a bit. Look, would it be all right if I took Lucy out tomorrow instead of on Sunday?
Tomorrow? Oh, I don't know. It's very short notice. Sorry, John. Yes, of course. Why not?
Thanks.
Well, did you have to give me lunch to ask me that?
No, I wanted to tell you the true story of Martin Kessel.
I thought you were on leave. Why can't you...
Helen, please. You can have your say when I finish, but until then, eat up your pasta and listen, will you?
Where's Inspector Gamble?
On leave, sir, pending acceptance of his resignation.
Oh, gone already.
He couldn't wait.
Pity. I would like him to have confirmed that I haven't missed anything. But you'd know, wouldn't you?
What is it, sir?
The summary of the evidence against Kessel.
But I thought the file was closed, sir.
Yes, well, I'm forwarding the summary to the Chief Constable, asking for authority to proceed with search and arrest. Or alternatively, for a full written report as to why the case is to be dropped. I'm sorry Inspector Gamble couldn't wait. Should like him to have seen that.
Well, he'll be in again tomorrow morning, sir, to clear his desk.
Good.
I don't believe it.
You don't want to, but you do.
And why did you tell me? You've no right to. Official secrets.
Look, everything I told you came out of my own head.
From what you learnt in the course of duty.
Oh, so I'm sticking my neck out his way out already.
You still haven't answered. Why did you tell me?
Well, I was angry. I wanted to get it off my chest, and, well, who else can I tell?
No. You want me to do something. You're trying to use me.
You know me too well. Because I don't know whether you want to do anything about it. I mean, I wouldn't know where you stood on a man like that, who's a crook, a double-crosser, a treble-crosser. I mean, maybe you'd just like to forget it, but if you did feel that it was your duty to drop a hint to one of the comrades, well, they're a suspicious crew, and things like that get around fast.
Damn you, John. Why don't you do your own dirty work?
Well, I'm in early for once. Now I don't work here.
I wouldn't be too sure. Have you seen this?
What's that?
It's a copy of a memo from Superintendent Proud to the Chief Constable. He sent it unrestricted, so of course everybody knows about it now. You know what gossip is in this place. I wouldn't be surprised if it's penetrated to the press room.
Well, I'm damned. That must have taken some doing. I mean, for him, querying an order, yeah. Sticking his neck out alongside mine.
Morning. Good morning, sir. Glad you're in early. Your file. Active again.
It worked.
It helped.
Thank you.
What you really mean is, why the devil didn't I do it long ago? Well, it wasn't only that. I think the Chief Constable was getting a bit fed up being told how to run his force. Well, now that you're here, I suppose you better come along with me. Warrants. Search and arrest. Shall we go?
Where are you going?
Where I'm going and who I am are top secret. Why should you worry?
I don't. It was merely a polite inquiry.
I'm sorry about getting blown, though.
I've no doubt you are. The comrades will be after your blood now, as well as the police.
It was that blasted, liberal, idealist ex-wife of Gamble's.
Well, I shouldn't hang around if I were you. He'll be after you now with a warrant.
What?
I had to withdraw my objections. Too many people knew something was up. Even Colonel Gudgeon was beginning to resent my interference.
You didn't warn me. If I hadn't left when I did, you'd have let them pick me up.
Why not? Your criminal activities are your own affair. That's how they got onto you. That's how you were blown. Surely you can't expect me to go on sheltering you from the law when you're of no further use.
Why not? I've had a good one. We're all expendable, eh? I'd have done the same in your position. Well, thank you for letting me know now. Well, I think I must avoid the more obvious exits. Something more discreet is called for. Goodbye, Gilby. It's been nice working for you.
Gone. What? Pay the staff 3 months' wages and offer them on the business. Not this department, of course. Still, it's quite a nice gesture.
Oh, I've made a hash of it again.
You? You didn't tip him off, did you?
Well, yes, in a way.
So you were right. This is where he worked.
Helen, what are you doing? I mean, why are you here?
Well, why shouldn't I be? I talked to the committee. I got rid of him for you. Well, that was what you wanted, wasn't it?
Don't tell me, I don't want to know. That's what he wanted, Mrs. Gamble. It was before he knew I was going to act out of character.
You mean he didn't have to use me?
I'm afraid so, Mrs. Gamble. Well, don't take it all so personally. We've got Hughes. Our American friend will get most of his money back. And Kessel's off our backs. What more do you want? What difference does it make where he ends up? Superintendent Proud here wants you to put out a general circulation for the arrest of Martin Kessel. Well, he won't be using that name, but you've got a full description.